Welcome to Straight from the Muzzle, folks, where we're anything but straight. My name is Space.
And I'm Kira.
And we welcome you to our episode, which is about what today?
Today we have the absolute pleasure of interviewing Mr. Keenora Fluffball himself. You may have seen him in YouTube videos or around the furry fandom. He's an iconic blue and purple wolf, and he's here to chat with us today.
So why don't you introduce, well, you just did, and I am brain farting.
Introduce yourself.
There you go.
Yeah, well, I'm Keenora Fluffball. You might have heard of me. I don't know. I'm a German fursuiter since 2009. And yeah, I'm doing some content on YouTube, Insta, whatever. Sometimes appearing on some TV shows, sometimes appearing on some convention, internationally, of course. And yeah, well, I'm just a crazy purple wolfie, I guess.
There's not much he hasn't done. The thumbnail includes the iconic skydiving, which you're very famous for. But you've really done all kinds of things in your time as a furry. I know Space is itching to ask you a question.
I am. And I'm just going back, and I went to your YouTube channel and I pulled up your videos, but I went from oldest because that's generally when I discovered you, was when you first started posting stuff. But you're known for getting involved in some pretty wild activities. What drew you to extreme sports as a fursuiter, and what's been your most intense experience so far?
Well, so it basically started back in the day when I started with fursuiting in general. For me, everything was always like, okay, people are going to some fursuit walks, they are going to some conventions, whatever, meetups here and there. And it was, kind of the same all the time. So I thought, well, I want to do something special for myself as well. I wanted to explore the world. So I started to do some like fursuit walks alone somewhere in the city and stuff. But there was still something, I don't know, still a bit boring. So I once came up with the idea to do some bungee jumping. And I thought a lot about this idea because I was really afraid about destroying my fursuit, about the forces involved and stuff. And yeah, I reached out to some group here in Germany, which is organizing bungee jumps like every now and then at some location. And I was like, okay, let's just give it a try. And I will just do it. So I gathered some friends together, and yeah, everybody was really nervous, even the staff there. And when I was up there, I thought, okay, this might go super wrong, and they are going to record me when my head is falling down into the water because there was some water below. And I was like, no, please, let's just let it happen, and it should be fine and everything should be good. And then I was, jumping. And in that second, like you're falling for like 2 or 3 seconds. It's not really much. But in that time, it just clicked. I was like, wow, this feeling is intense. And this feeling combined with fursuiting, which means a lot to me, was just like perfect. It was heaven for me. So I was like, okay, this is the start. I'm going to do something more crazy. And yeah, so maybe you know my background. I'm an IT person. I developed some software and stuff. So I was actually working on some software, some tiny piece of software, which is calculating the forces, like the wind forces on the body shape, the fursuit body shape, basically.
Oh.
So I was calculating the forces, what is going to happen if I actually do some skydiving. And we did some tests, the German Autobahn, you can speed up if you want, and it doesn't matter. And I was in a car with a friend. I had my fursuit hat on, and we tried, okay, the speed of wind you're going to experience if you are doing skydiving. And it was okay. So nothing happened. And I was like, okay, I really have to do that. And also reached out to a group a bit later of the year. And they were like, okay, let's do this. And we did. And I think it was the first fursuit skydive, as far as I know, at least. There are many skydivers nowadays which are doing it as well.
You were the first to do it.
I think I was the first. I mean, of course, you probably have like some mascots of, I don't know, big advertising and campaigns or whatever.
No one cares about them.
Yeah, those are real furries.
Yeah,
we're talking like real furries here.
Exactly, yeah.
Self-identified furries. But did you ever, were you ever into extreme sports prior to doing it
Not
in
at
fursuit?
all.
Oh my
Not
God, that is so crazy to me.
What made you want to do extreme sports in fursuit if that wasn't your natural background of fun things to do?
I really don't know. To be honest, I've never done bungee jumping or skydiving without fursuit. Never.
Would you ever? Or is the fursuit part of it?
Ooh, that is a very good question. I think I wouldn't do that because it would be just too normal, too boring again.
Too boring.
Yep.
So would you say that, like, I mean, we've done this before where we've asked guests this, but like, so outside of fursuit, this is something you would never do. But when you're in fursuit and you're in that character, you feel like you're someone else and you feel confident and you want to do things. Is that the same case here then with your fursuit where you're thinking, I don't want to know if I want to bungee jump, but then you're in the suit and you're like, I could do anything.
I think I got that question a few times before, and I disagree because...
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
If I wear my fursuit, I'm simply the exactly same person. I might going to be a bit louder and stuff because, I don't know, I tend to yell around when I'm in fursuit. That happens. But yeah, I'm still the same. I'm still the open guy. I'm still the same crazy wolfie, and I don't care if the fursuit is on or off. It just suits me more, I think. It just fits a bit better.
Interesting.
I feel
That
the
is
same
super
too.
cool. I mean, I'd agree. I've spoken about that similarly where like in fursuit, I'm just myself, but like louder or more eager to like meet people, things like that.
Yeah.
But outside, I'm still pretty, social.
Exactly, yeah.
But that is so cool that like, and when was the first time you did that? What year? Do you remember?
That was in 2012. Yeah, 2012.
2012. That was the year I joined the fandom, actually.
The bungee jumping looks like it was July 31st, 2012, but that was when you uploaded the video, so it could have been earlier than that.
No, I've got a few bungee jumping videos. Like the very first one was actually not on my channel, I think. Wait. No, it is actually on my channel, but...
oh, it might be on your Vimeo. Oh, I forget about Vimeo.
No. There's a good friend of mine who actually created the video back then. I wasn't that experienced, though. I don't know if you know Big Blue Fox. He's like a name popping up in the US fandom as well. He's doing a lot of videos, and he made my video back in the day. So, yeah.
That's so cool.
That is super cool.
Big Blue Fox. Is that what
that
you're
name
saying?
Is so familiar. I'm looking it up.
BBF, he's big. Also a gray muzzle like me.
The name is familiar.
It's super familiar.
It's older. They've been around for a while.
Yeah.
Like you said, and sometimes it takes a while for things to get to America. Shockingly. I don't know why. So I was thinking about this when you were talking about like force and drag on your fursuit. Did you, after the bungee jumping, did you reinforce the inside of your fursuit to like a strap on the head to make sure it doesn't pop off or anything on the feet so that they don't fall off or anything?
It really is amazing. Like I'd be so scared of my fursuit being just gone forever.
So I figured one thing out. Bungee jumping is super safe. Like the forces you experience are like nothing at all.
Yeah.
So if you have your fursuit on and your head stays on, if you, I don't know, lean above your bed or something, or like out of your bed, that's the same force, basically. It's nothing. As long as it sticks on your head like that, bungee jumping is easily possible. So that's not an issue. The thing for skydiving, however, was a bit different.
It's the wind blowing up.
Yeah, like it is hitting your face like really hard. Usually you're going to wear some glasses when you're doing that as well, because it's just a lot of wind. I mean, you're moving with like 120, 130 miles per hour. So it's a lot. So for that, we basically had some like security needles on the head. So it's like connected to the bodysuit. And the tandem jumper, he asked me to fix the tail because the tail would have otherwise flapped between his legs. And he was like, no, I don't want that.
Yeah. I don't like that.
Yeah. So yeah, we did that. But other than that, everything was just staying on. Nothing bad happened.
I would love to backtrack just a tiny bit. What got you in the fandom originally? What do you remember? Like, what made you become a furry?
Well, it is a long time ago, I have to admit. So back in 1996, somewhere in that year, I'm not entirely sure when, I was getting internet by my parents. And I mean, Google was not a thing. Of course, YouTube and stuff wasn't existing there back then. But I got into a message board about werewolves back then.
Oh.
And that brought me to some IRC server. IRC, for the younger generation out there, that's basically like the chat rooms back in the day. You connected with some piece of software and you were able to join some servers and talk. Not talk as in talking, but chatting. Back then, I ended up on this werewolf whatever server and heard about furries for the very first time. And then later on, I found a German IRC server and ended up there. In the beginning, it was just like talking and stuff. But at some point, I saw like a very short video of a fursuiter dancing on stage of a very old convention back then. It wasn't like the 2D fursuits you would expect nowadays, but like a more like semi-realistic wolf dancing.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know, it just caught me. I was like, wow, this looks amazing. What is this? What is this all about? And then I got, just a tiny bit into it. But because of school and stuff back then, I was just a bit distracted. And I think in around 2000, 2001, I got back into it, visited the first furries back then in my area. And in 2004, I was at my very first convention, which was Eurofurence 10 back in the day. Still like super tiny. I mean, there were like, I don't know, 300 people or something, not that much. But yeah, it was amazing. Especially the first moment when I hugged a fursuiter. Oh my God. There were like only 7 or 8 fursuits back then, but
really?
it was just so amazing. Like,
do you have a counter for how many conventions you've been to since then?
Well, I think on the Wikifur, I counted them once, but they are like a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
So you've been to conventions in America, and I know you've been to Japan before.
Yeah,
America, Europe,
European
Japan, all over the place.
Yeah.
What is your opinion on American versus European conventions?
Depends on when. Like back in the day, I would say American conventions were like European conventions nowadays, kind of, a tiny bit. If I look at Eurofurence, for example, it's like an American convention nowadays. But nowadays, I mean, last time I've been to the US was in 2024, actually. I haven't been there last year. I've been to Midwest Fur Fest quite a lot. And the last time in 2024, it was just a big party, and I really like that. I like the party conventions. However, for me personally, like I also like the conventions where you are a bit more immersed by some degree, like if there's a big story, a big theme and stuff like that. For example, my boyfriend, he's helping at a convention here in Germany, and he's doing a lot of stuff there. So there's a big show on the stage with like a big story and everything behind it. And I like that as well. Like if it's
a bit more
really
theatrical.
Immersive. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you don't see that in the US conventions. Yeah.
No, I can't really think. Like, I mean, all the conventions have themes, but I've been thinking about that recently because it's like, what does the theme do besides a few of like the decorations on the stage of the convention? Yeah. But I kind of wondered where that originated from because it seemed to have a purpose in the past, and that's more clarity on, where that's come from.
Eurofurence is the one that does the last year, I think the year before they did the animation. Was that them or was that Comfort?
Oh, that is familiar. Yeah, they did.
I remember my husband and I, we watched like one of the opening ceremonies, and it was like this really well done animation. And I'm like, damn, why can't we have that here in America?
Do you feel like there's a different culture of fursuiting at conventions across the world?
100%.
I feel like American culture is very casual.
It is. How do I say that? I think the American conventions are more like, okay, you just hang around, you are talking a bit, doing the things you would usually do without fursuit as well. At European conventions, you have the mixture out of that and the people which are really into the character and playing the character and stuff. And if you're going to the Asian conventions, you basically have only the people in character all the time. And that's a big difference. Yeah.
So who is Keenora as a character? Who has he become over the years to you?
Oh, I wouldn't talk about Keenora in the third person, to be honest, because that's just me. But I mean, of course, obviously, I changed as well. I would say I became more open. Back in the day, I was always like, I don't like it when people are, I don't know, ruining the magic or doing this or doing that. And nowadays, I'm just like, guys, just live, just have fun and do whatever you want. I don't mind.
That's a good sentiment, I think, to have in the fandom. And it's a good sentiment to have when, like, you're in a fandom. I don't really want to call, like, it is a fandom, but it's so big, like a community, I guess. You don't want to be stuck up in a community. You should like be comfortable with change and expect it because it's a natural part of how things go.
True.
You were just at JMOF?
Oh, yeah. I posted the video today.
I just saw that. I'm cruising on your YouTube right now and I'm looking and I'm like, oh my God, JMOF. I would love to go to JMOF.
Is that a convention or a
Japan meeting of furries?
Yeah, it's the largest one in Japan right now.
That's so
they
cool.
do. Like, who is it? There's a video channel that like does their fursuit video like for the whole convention itself, and their production is just top notch. And I right now I'm in love with kimono fursuits. Like, I just absolutely love them. And so whenever I think of kimono fursuits, I think of J-Moth, and I'm like, oh my God, I just saw your video for J-Moth, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I want to watch it. But, you know, of course, we're doing an interview, so I can't. But
you'll have to watch it after this interview.
I suppose I will, yeah.
And
it's a long one, I'm sorry.
It is. What is it, 47 minutes? Jeez. But it'll be fun to watch. I'm excited.
So you've really been all over the place. I mean,
yeah, I mean, Asia is like a big part of myself as well.
Some of your older art, some of the art that you have on your Fur Affinity that's a bit older is very like 90s anime, which I love. Like, I'm such a big fan of. It was so nice to look through and be like, oh my God, super, super cute. Sort of a more narrow muzzle. And you have the Kigurumi Kagetsu. Keenora has 3 fursuits, right?
Oh no, way more.
Way more?
Yes.
Just that's like the same version of you, so you're kind of like...
Yeah. It's just me.
Like Cyber.
If you count...
Cyber, that's what I was thinking, Cyber.
Yeah, if you count the heads, you have like 7 heads. If you count the bodies, I'm at 9 right now.
Oh my God.
Don't ask me about the paws. I have no clue. I think something around 20 something.
You lost track.
Yeah,
but you're also
especially
very active in your fursuit. It's because like you do a lot of stuff. But I mean, I think that's a better way to go about being in the fandom. Like, if you have a suit, like, yes, it's a one-of-a-kind piece of art, but do you really just want to, like, keep it in a glass case and never do anything in it? Or do you want to, like, actually wear it and use it and have fun in it?
Exactly. I mean, especially back in the day, I was fursuiting every single weekend. Nowadays, I mean, due to the fact that I'm staffing at some events and stuff, I don't do it every single weekend, but I would say every other weekend I'm fursuiting for sure. I can't without. I can't. It's an addiction.
It's a part of your life. A big part of your life.
With all the different styles of fursuits that you have for the one character, do you just wear specific ones for specific like conventions or outings, or is it just, I kind of feel like wearing this one today?
No, I would say like the old ones I'm not using anymore because, well, I have to admit, like the one I've used for the longest time, that one is basically washed out. The fur has no color anymore because of the UV light, I guess. So the most recent ones, actually like 4 of the recent ones I'm using pretty regularly. Especially in Japan, for example, I only took my Kagetsu fursuits with me because I have 2 of them, and one needed a little bit of a makeover. So I was at the Kigurumi Kagetsu studios this year, and yeah, but other than that, I'm using all of them basically. So,
that's really cool, though, that they don't. I mean, the ones that need to go into retirement do because they've, had their time. But
do you have like a glass case that you like put them in?
Yeah.
You don't want to see my room.
You come into your house and you just have like glass cases like in the walkway, and each one is like the older fursuit.
I'm picturing like blue and purple fur everywhere.
It's basically like that. If you're entering one of my rooms, it's just
little fur balls
everything
everywhere.
Is full. Yeah.
Have you ever had an accident, or like has anything ever happened to a fursuit while you were like doing an extreme sport, or even just like at a convention?
Well, I think besides like some spilled drinks or stuff like that, not that much. I mean, when I did the skydiving,
you balanced performing and safety pretty well then in your fursuit.
Yeah, I mean, when I did the skydiving once, we ended up on the greens on the ground and were like sliding on the greens a bit. Well, so I had some stains in the fur, but you can easily wash it out. So yeah, it's not an issue.
Better grass stains than
You've done bungee jumping, skydiving. What about parachuting?
Parachuting, like paragliding many times. Paragliding with stunts, like backflips and stuff. Also, I did that in Spain a few years ago, which is quite fun. I can say that. I was strapped to like a crane and running down a house, like a skyscraper once. I did some aerobatics, like flying in a small hang glider and doing some stunts. What else? Yeah. Several different bungee jumps, of course. Like back then, the highest one in the world in Macau, near China. Also from a dam in Italy, which was the original James Bond bungee jump, if you've seen one of the older movies.
Oh, yeah. This is all in fursuit you did this?
Oh, yeah. Everything in fursuit, yeah.
Oh my God.
Then, racing, track, stuff like that. All the things, basically.
Looks like you have a world record from jumping from the Macau China building.
Not anymore. I mean, the highest fursuit jump, probably, yes. But there is a higher platform now because China just built a new bridge somewhere and they have a higher platform there, apparently.
Are you going to go jump off that one?
It's quite in the middle of nowhere. It will take a while to get there. So, maybe someday.
I just couldn't. In a million years, I'm like, I'm not a risk taker.
If you ever come to Germany, I'm going to throw you down on some bungee platform.
I'd be screaming the whole way.
I feel like if I went and visited you, you'd be like, and you'd just be like distracting me as we go up in the air or something. And then you'd be like, okay, fun time now, bye. And you just push me out. I'm like, wait, what?
That could actually happen. Anyway.
Like, what do you mean fun time? There I go.
In 2016, I had a friend from Japan over. He wanted to visit your friends and stuff, and he was here for a few more days. And his dream was to do skydiving in fursuit, like since he saw my video. And due to some bad weather conditions, we couldn't do it. So we just went to a racetrack, did some stuff there and stuff. And then we went to Berlin because your friends was in Berlin back then. And he was really disappointed that he couldn't do it. So I was just calling a skydiving group near Berlin. And I was like, hey, is it actually possible to do it right here? Oh, yeah, we can do that. And then I was talking to him. I was like, oh, by the way, I need you today. Oh, for what? Are we doing some party? And I said, yeah, some party. So we just drove there. And I was like, yeah, you're going to do some skydiving now. And he was like, fuck. So, yeah. It can happen.
Half excited, half mortified.
Like, I can't back out now.
That was actually going to be a question of mine. I was going to say, have you ever done extreme sports fursuiting with other people, who maybe never considered it before? That's so cool, though. I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't do certain things like that unless they were in fursuit. It probably opens people up to,
or they were coaxed into it by a friend.
Or they were, by a friend. Won't name names, but a friend.
If you're scrolling through my YouTube channel, there are some videos of the fursuit bungee weekend, so-called event. I've done it a few times, like gathering with a few fursuiters. The max was 45, I think, or 46. And we basically hired a bungee platform for the entire day and did some bungee jumping there all day long in fursuit.
That is everybody. Super cool.
Let's talk about charity work.
Yes.
So charity work is huge in the fandom. What are some causes that are closest to your heart, and how has Keenora played a role in supporting them?
So I need to start a bit earlier, I think. So in the beginning, when I started fursuiting, my boyfriend and some other groups here always did organized some fursuit walks in specific places, not just in a city or whatever, but also we've been to a zoo, which was only open for kids with needs. And so we were there the entire day and just helped them and basically walked together with them through the zoo and had a nice time together. We've done a few things for different organizations as well. There was one thing, I think I should mention it because I'm not really proud of it, to be honest. We've been to some organizations with what is it called in English? A caretaking home, but for kids
terminally ill,
they are about to pass, so in those caretaking homes, exactly. And we went there once. We wanted to fursuit there, but when we walked through the inner garden, there were already a few kids in wheelchairs where it was very tough, let's say it like that. And for us, we were like, what can we basically give these kids to smile again? We tried it a bit, but we backed off in the end because it was just very hard. I have to admit that.
Of course.
So at some point, we couldn't bear it anymore. We were there with, I think, 10 people or something, and it was just too tough. And I'm not really happy about it. I should have fought through somehow, but we still did a few other events like that, and we had a lot of fun there. What I also like to do is raising some money for charities. Back when COVID happened, we started to gather some money together for like some local organizations for like a cats, what was it called in English? I'm lost in translation today. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
Like line?
Like they
Like
are
a shelter?
gathering. Yeah, shelter. That's
Shelter.
a cat shelter, exactly. Which was in the Netherlands, and we helped them to help their cats because some of them were also like disabled. There was another word which I don't know in English.
Google Translate's really good.
Yeah, where they put the big animals when they are about to die and they don't have a future anymore. I don't know how to call that.
Oh, we say we send them to a farm.
Yeah, well,
we sent them to the mountains to live on a farm where they can be happy.
Fair. Maybe in German we have a word for that, but yeah. So we went there.
Do you mean like zoo animals when you say big animals?
No, more like horses and stuff like that.
Oh, like a sanctuary. More like a
sanctuary basically. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense. So pretty much, like like a big farm. So a lot of animal-based stuff, but kids as well. I like when people incorporate both. I've seen conventions doing more like Trevor Project stuff instead of just, of course, obviously, animal shelters need all the help they can get. But it is nice to see like different kinds of causes supported by furries. And it is something I always, try to mention when people are like, where's the fun in it? And you have to remember, like, it's really all for charity, The conventions, for sure. Like, it is a good thing ultimately.
I know how you feel when you were talking about that hard moment. I still work in medical records, but I don't work in the primary children's hospital anymore, which was a specialty hospital here in Utah. Mm-hmm. But we would have to go pick up records from all the various floors. And so at first I was like, I love kids and this will be great. So I go there and I do the things. But over time, it started to really eat on me because each floor got progressively worse. I think the higher floors were more the cancer related patients. And it was so hard to see, like you go and pick them up and these kids would be like walking out of their rooms, frail, bald. And I'm just like, I just can't, I can't do this. And I'd walk past the cancer ward and it would just break my heart. But what killed me was learning that they had something called a terminal ward, which I didn't even know was a thing, but that's where the kids that go and pass away live. So I eventually left that hospital because I couldn't do it anymore. It was too, I'd rather just work with adults because they're predictable. You know what's going to happen to them.
Right.
Wow.
But with kids are different because it's just, they're kids. They're supposed to have fun. They're supposed to not know pain and things like that. It's hard. Yeah. So I get that.
I always say there's two sides to everything, like, because I also work at a hospital. I'm a social worker at a trauma center. And when younger folks come in, it is always difficult because you really have to, like, I'm the one that like kind of sits with them and it's like, how are you feeling about all this? Like, what can I do, in terms of your family or like contacting anyone? But I do feel like a lot of furries are like, a lot of them are very analytical and I think maybe more shy and, correct me if I'm wrong, but like I know there's a stereotype where like a lot of furries are engineers or like you said, Keenora, like IT, just these jobs that tend to be somewhat isolating or like tend to draw in crowds who are maybe like more shy in real life or like don't want to be all up in people's business and just kind of do their logistical work. And then furry is an escape. But for me, it's an emotionally difficult job. And I feel like it's sort of an escape for me to be silly and also like still consistently help with charity and do the things that I'm passionate about, but get to have it be like a little more fun spirited, because it does get hard. But I think all furries are bound together by an urge to like participate in charity and help other people. And I always say, furries are the nicest people I've ever met. Hands down. Pause down for sure. Pause down. I really do love this fandom.
What's your most memorable, like, favorite moment of charity work that you've done?
Oh, there are a few moments, actually. You
have to pick one. Okay.
I have to pick one. Okay.
You can
just
talk
kidding.
about multiple.
I'm kidding. You can talk about as many as you like.
Okay. There are actually like two things I would love to tell. And the first story was we were in Düsseldorf, which is a big city here in Germany, near the Rhine River. It's a very nice place where you can walk right next to the river and it looks really nice. So we've been there with a group of some people in need. They were in wheelchairs and they weren't that responsive, to be honest. So they couldn't talk anymore. And we walked right next to the water. We were, of course, in fursuit and stuff, and we were doing a small break at some point, and they were looking into the distance, and I was kneeling down next to one of the wheelchairs, and the person inside, I was just like slowly giving him some pats and stroked the arm. And then at some point, he turned to me and he was smiling. And this moment was so magical. Like the sunset in the background, that person smiling to me and like actually recognizing me in that moment was just wow.
That's
and I was crying below the fursuit. But it was really nice. Another situation was actually nearby the place where I am right now. There's a children's home for kids from war zones all around the place. They're trying to help them here because they lost their families and stuff. And we were there with a bunch of fursuiters, and we basically came out of the changing room and walked into the inner garden. And they were running to us in a like running really like
a stampede.
Charging.
Like really, yeah, basically. But in the first moment, you were like, oh my God, so many kids. The second moment was, because my vision is not the best inside the fursuit, I recognized that many of them they lost an arm or a leg or whatever, but they were still happy and they were still smiling and happy about us. And the fact that we could make them happy in that specific moment was just so heartwarming, so overwhelming. So yeah, we played the whole day, and
I didn't know you worked with kids as much as you did. That's actually so sweet.
Yeah, of course. I mean, obviously I cannot make any videos about that stuff. So
right, you can't show their faces or anything. So that's why I didn't know. But I mean, that's a hard thing to do. I also feel like furries, the bad rap. Do you feel like the opinion of like public folks with furries? I mean, maybe it's different here in America, but I feel like it was seen exclusively as a kink thing because of the way the media portrayed it. And now I think people are more accustomed.
The CSI episode destroyed a lot, I think.
Oh, yeah. CSI and there was another one here. It was like on MTV or something. It was like an expose in it.
Oh, the MTV Sex 2K.
Yes, that one.
Yep.
That one. But I think people are coming around to it now. Maybe more so than ever. But you don't just fursuit at conventions. You fursuit at like festivals and all kinds of things.
All the things, concerts.
Kira tells me that you've been to a couple of music festivals. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Sure. So I've started with like some smaller concerts back then because a good friend of mine, he was a lot into it, and he was like, yeah, maybe you can go there in fursuit. And I was like, okay, we can try. So I don't know which year it was. I'm not entirely sure. I think it was 2013 or something. Skrillex was here in Germany, in Cologne.
I would love to see Skrillex.
And I was like, I need to try that. So we went there. I was the only one in suit. We got in, we passed the security and stuff. And there were like two stages. The first stage was somebody else. I forgot the name, some smaller artist. And he actually saw me and he was like talking to me and gave me some advice and stuff. And the other area was basically only for Skrillex. It was completely overcrowded, like thousands of people. And I was like, I just have to get there, like in front. And I had a good friend. He's a massive guy. So he was picking me up on his shoulders and we walked through the front. And then Skrillex saw me and he was just like giving me a fist bump. And
that's awesome.
And I have a picture of that. So it was like, wow, this is like the first moment. So yeah, back then it started. So like a few concerts, and then like the drum and bass festival started here in Germany and the Netherlands. I've been to many of them.
We were talking a little bit earlier about how, German culture is a bit more inclined to like festival. There's a lot of festivals in America now, but I feel like American, maybe because of our security efforts or whatnot, I see a lot of people who, try to go to concerts in fursuit, but just can't because of the safety and logistics. And I think Germany's a little bit more lax because you guys do just have more like festivals and festival culture and expressionist culture as well.
My God, I've seen, I'm pretty sure that none of these are in America because there's just no way anyone could pull it off. But I've seen a few like music festival videos where the stage is so intensively built. It looks like you went into Tron World essentially, and there's all this loud music and techno. And I'm like, oh my God, I would love to go to this thing. This looks awesome. This is like a technological like party of fun. I want to go here. There's no way America pulled that off. No way.
Usually they are European, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think most of those are actually more in the area of the Netherlands or Belgium and stuff, because you have like Tomorrowland and Perukaville and all those big ones. Yeah.
I always want to be like, I wonder if there's like any like, seismologists there that like put things in the ground just to see how heavy the ground shakes.
Oh, that reminds me of this one video. Like there was some festival in the Netherlands and there's this one song and everybody is saying in Dutch, I think, like jumping to the left, and then right. And then you see the whole crowd just jumping and you're like, whoa.
Holy crap. It's almost like, I don't know how many years ago it was, but there was a concert at a stadium for Taylor Swift, and the jumping in the stadium itself was so intense that it actually did register as a like 2.0 like earthquake.
That's so crazy. I could believe that.
I was like, what the hell?
This picture is so sick. Powerful energy of you and Skrillex. Oh my God, he looks like a baby in that picture. That's crazy.
Yeah, he was young. Oh, and I did a lot of stage diving as well back then. When the people were still able to carry me.
You're very visible, though. Oh, yeah, there you are. Oh, my God.
Do people still carry you? They could probably still carry you.
Well, you need maybe
not the young ones.
That is super cool. And then, you also have your own music festival in Germany. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So, last year it was the first iteration. It's called Purple Clouds. The idea basically came a few years ago when we were going to different events like other conventions and stuff, and we were basically held back all the time because either you have like an AD dance where you can just wear some kinky gear and stuff, but most of the things weren't allowed there. So I was like, okay, it kind of sucks because you don't have like a very open-minded music event. And regarding the fact that I'm also going to some normie festivals, I'm always like, okay, people there are way more open. They just allow more things and they are not looking at you just because you wear this or that. So I was like, okay, let's just try to recreate that in the like furry way. So we started with Purple Clouds last year. It was a very small one back then because of course, people were like, okay, let's give it 1 year and let's see if people are actually into it and what it is all about, because nobody knew how it's going to end, of course. But I can tell this, even if there were only 170 people, we had a blast that weekend. People were super happy about it. We had a feedback form where they could give us like 0 to 10 stars, and the overall score was 9.42. So I think it was a success. Everything was just super good. And
you are such a like doer. You like get an idea and you're like, well, I'm just gonna do that then. Like I feel like most people would be so nervous to try and do these things that seem, above and beyond. But you're just like, music festival would be cool. Let's just do it, and you do it. It's very admirable.
I have to be honest. Like many people were like, oh, okay, if you do this, your reputation is fucked up. You are basically allowing everything. People can be naked there and stuff, and people would be like, yeah, if you do that, I don't know, people are talking bad shit about you and stuff. But in the end, everybody was super happy. Everything was perfectly fine. Nothing happened, like no incidents whatsoever. And this year we are going to do it again in July, and we are going to have almost 400 people. So I think it's a success. Yeah.
That's going to be amazing. And is it furry only? Like, is it specifically furry, or can it be anybody with like an emphasis on furry?
Yeah, I think technically it's open for everything else. I mean, there are a lot of puppies too, but everybody is like kind of connected to furries, I think. So, yeah.
That's so cool. Your journey has brought you so far.
I mean,
what was the name of the festival?
It's called Purple. Yeah, Purple Clouds.
Purple Clouds. I'm going to pull this up.
It's actually a very nice website, I must say. You did a really good job on it.
Thank you.
It looks amazing.
Maybe I should type in festival.
And I assume that you were there in suit.
Just pulls up literal purple clouds.
Purple clouds.
There we go.
You were shooting the whole time.
Oh, I mean, not the whole time. I had to do some organizational work, of course. I mean, I have a great team behind it, but yeah, sometimes they need me as well. But on Saturday and Sunday, I was basically fur-sitting all day long. So yeah.
Is it mostly composed of like your friends who help you, or?
Well, for the staff team, I would say like half of them are like closer friends and the other half just basically came together because we wanted to have some group of people who are actually doers as well and not just like leeching there. And
yeah.
So
had an interest in getting it all complete.
Exactly.
Can you talk about the awareness team? Because I've never heard of this before.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. That's a very big thing, actually, here in Europe, specifically at festivals, but also at conventions nowadays. There's even an awareness team at the bigger furry conventions here. Basically, it's about like a group which is in between security and attendees. So if you have anything which is more towards like, I don't know, you get bullied or people are calling you names or people are getting too close without consent, they are basically there to handle the situation, not to ban you or kick you out of the event, but more to talk in between and try to solve the situation instead of just kicking.
They're like mediators.
Kind of, yeah.
That's interesting. And they're just present, like all throughout the con.
Yeah, exactly. They have a specific bandana, so you can see them, you can approach them. If you don't want to approach them personally, there's also like, at least for Purple Clouds, you can also like talk to them via a Telegram bot. If you, for example, I don't know, have a mental breakdown or whatever, you can just send your location and send the word help basically, and then they are coming to you and try to give you some comfort or put you somewhere
amazing.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah, that's genius. Actually, the fact that we don't have that at American.
I haven't seen that. Yeah, not at an American con. If they do, it's not called this, and they're not making it aware to attendees. So this is different. This is actually a really cool concept.
Yeah, that's a great idea, especially for like music festivals, because I mean, there are some things that are just so whatever, you know, like I saw my boyfriend and something happened, and it's just like not a security issue, but it would be good for somebody to be able to like calm them down.
Exactly. Also, I don't know, like, for example, in Germany and Netherlands and stuff, weed is allowed. So if some people are like on weed and they have like a bad face and then, I don't know, everything is getting too loud, too much, too uncomfortable, then people are there to, gives you some break, some comfort.
That's
I really
lovely.
like this website. This is really like, this is so much. I want to say it's so much fun, but it's just so nice to navigate.
Yeah,
like, there are furry convention sites that, you can click on things here and there, but everywhere I click, I want to keep clicking. And the colors are just so
nice.
Mellow. Yeah.
Thank you
it
so much.
surprises me that you don't have like a graphic design, like primary background, because it really shows in the way that the website looks. Very, very
There's
nice.
always some hidden things like even on the main page.
Did you design your
I did everything.
Your Sona yourself?
Oh yeah. That's also my design. Yeah.
and he's iconic. So
are those constellations that are in the background?
Those are not something specific, but like if you're scrolling on the first page and you have like the main image there and you scroll down a tiny bit, look at the dragon specifically.
Can we go back down to the main page? Give me the main page. There we go.
So there's this little dragon sitting on the ground, and if you scroll down slowly, you might see something.
Little dragon? I don't see a little dragon.
Wait, I'm gonna make a. Okay, wait. Can I
the dragon. Oh. Okay.
Yeah, that one. Scroll down a tiny bit, so he's at the top of the website. If you don't see it, it's fine.
Maybe I need to make my.
Are you on a desktop, right?
Yeah, I'm on a desktop, but I didn't have it at full screen. What I do see in the background, just kind of subtly, are these little like what looks like constellations that are kind of
they're like twinkling,
moving around by themselves. But
that's not what I mean. But it's fine. It's fine. I can show you later.
Oh no! Now I see it. Wow!
Okay.
Wow! That's not part of the push.
I think I looked it up. I don't know if I was at work, but I remember doing that and being like,
it's even pulsating at some point.
Very cool.
I love it. It's so funny. So it is reactive as you scroll down. It took me a second as I'm like, what is that? Very clever. Very clever.
Very, very clever.
I'm telling you right now, even if a parrot was on that website, they wouldn't have figured that out. Unless someone pointed it out to you. That's so
So you
cool,
are and you have been, Keenora, basically everywhere. Like, I know you have a Fur Affinity in your YouTube channel. Do you
Well,
have a preferred platform that you like to use the most nowadays?
ooh.
And which one have you had like the best relationship with over the years?
Over the years, it depends a bit. I used to have a very nice connection to Twitter back in the day, but when they changed everything, I basically opted out and went to Blue Sky.
Yeah.
But I would say nowadays I'm posting mostly on Blue Sky, Instagram, and YouTube.
YouTube is like the one that really has stuck around.
All the
And
time.
most people who post there, yeah, it's just it's part of daily life for most people now. Have you noticed if social media has changed the way that you approach fursuiting, or do you feel compelled, I guess, to act differently when you know there's a camera running, or do you feel like it's more genuine, or somewhere in between?
Well, I can tell this. People always tell me that I'm having a camera radar. So as soon as there's a lens, I'm like, oh, there's a lens and it's pointing at me and I'm doing something. But even without, as I've said before, I'm also not like filming everything. I'm still the same without the camera in front of me. It used to be when I started with it, back in the day, I just had my old GoPro and I was just like filming a tiny bit and stuff. It is a lot of fun, but I'm not like as advanced as some other furry YouTubers. And by no means I want to be like that, because I'm not hunting the numbers, it's just a hobby. It's just fun for me. I'm also not making any like money with it. So it's just fun, I think. It would be sad to stop because it's a lot of fun and it's a good way to engage with people as well, because a lot of people are just approaching me and are like, Key, I've seen this video and that video and I would like to talk about it and stuff. Without it, I mean, nobody would know me basically. So it is in some way a very nice communication platform. But on the other hand, I'm not like, I don't need it.
Right. You're not using it to like farm, content or anything. But I think that really separates you from the rest, or like it just shows that being passionate and putting your passions out there will be the thing that like lets you make friends, or like will assist you in being part of the community, instead of like, I'm putting myself out there under the guise of this is the thing that will make me a popu fur or something like that. It has to be genuine.
Do you consider yourself as a popu fur? Sorry, let me rephrase this, because we don't use the word popu fur. Would you consider yourself to be a celebu-fur? That sounds more elegant.
Celebu-fur. Oh, yeah, that's a nice word.
We coined that one.
Yeah, it is quite nice.
Back in the day, I would have said no. Nowadays, I would say people know me in some degree, yes, but I wouldn't call me a celebrity or a celebrity fur or proper fur or whatever. For me, it's more like I just do the things I usually do with or without a camera, and I just do it anyway. And if people like it, then that's fine. And I like it when people are like following me and stuff, of course. Nowadays, it just needs somebody, I don't know, standing still for a while and be on TikTok, and suddenly you have a few 10,000 of followers and stuff. So it's not like back
showing
in the day.
abs.
Yeah, it's just.
I've seen people call that a peeled banana fursuit, when it's like someone who's really fit and they have the fursuit on.
What is your so in my opinion, I don't like that, because then it feels like I'm being ashamed of my body. Do you have an opinion on those type of fursuiters that just love to shed their abs at the gym, where they're wearing their fursuit head and then like they're basically a peeled banana?
I would say it's fine. I mean, I'm not complaining about it. The only thing I don't really like is, for example, I had this one situation. I was at a convention. I'm not calling out names, of course, now, but I was at some convention and there was a fursuit walk outside, like a parade, outside of the venue, and there were kids. And there was a specific fursuiter who was showing his abs. He has an amazing body. I can tell, but I don't know. To be fair, like in front of kids and stuff, I don't know. I don't really like it that much.
Right. There's a time and a place to have that type of separation. I think that maybe, and I don't know if this is still true, but we were talking earlier about how, Germany is a bit more open about stuff like that. And maybe because there is, I would argue, more freedom of expression, or at least it's more normalized for like, there are spaces for adults and there are spaces where children can be present. But like, I feel like strangely enough in America, we're still kind of grasping for that and looking for places. And that's where you get all this discourse like pup hoods can't be allowed at fursuit conventions, and back and forth and back and forth. And I think it's because, we just have this one space and everyone has to share it. But maybe if things were a little bit more separated, or we were able to have, events that were more open, like you said, like, I guess like here we have like a nude beach, there are places, but they're just not as normalized, and maybe just making it like less taboo would be a goal.
Do you know the term soft suiting by any chance?
Yeah.
So for the listeners who has never heard about this,
the uninitiated.
Soft suiting is basically if you wear a fursuit and you have some bits on there, like plushy bits, like some sheath or whatever. So something is visible, but not the real stuff, not the real genitals and stuff. So I love soft suiting. I do that like with a big passion right nowadays. And last year I've been to a gay pride like that. And to be fair, at this specific gay pride, there are people running around naked. They are having fun in the bushes even, and stuff like that is happening. And I was there, and I mean, obviously it's some kind of parade, but on the other hand, it's also it's the Christopher Street Day. It's the origins of that back in the day in 1969 in New York when the Stonewall Inn riots were happening. People were basically running around in their kink gear and their fetish stuff as well. And it was part of it. And some people were, complaining about that. And last year when I've been there, of course, there were people complaining about it as well because, oh my God, kids could see it. Yeah.
Right.
Sure, but I mean, technically, it's still a political demonstration. And if you take your kid to a political demonstration, you need to explain things as well. I mean, it's not a carnival or whatever. So, yeah, I had a bit of a discussion back then, but that's the thing. Like, it depends on where you are. If you have a parade of a convention, to get back to the other topic, if you have a convention and there's a parade and there are specifically kids outside because they were invited to look at the parade, I don't think it's the right place to do such things. I wouldn't run around there, of course. So it depends. There's a place and a time where you can do things like that, and there are other places where you shouldn't, or maybe shouldn't. I'm not complaining too much about it because I still want to give the freedom that people can still do whatever they want, but I just don't like it myself, I think.
No, absolutely. And I think I asked that because, you have this convention with that emphasis. And I know that we've talked about it just in terms of like wanting that freedom of expression, within reason. Mm-hmm. And I mean, furry, obviously very connected to Pride. We'll have a lot of Pride episodes coming up in June for Pride Month.
I'm excited for this Pride.
It'll be a good one. It'll definitely be a good one. But
Pride is it's a thing for us. Yeah,
it's a big thing. Well, our thing is like, what do we say?
I plan around. I mean, we make episode plans and stuff throughout the year, but I always block out June specifically just for Pride episodes. And every year it's usually something that has to do with a current event or history. And this year, what I'd like to do is have a timeline of different types of queer history throughout the years going up until current day, but focusing on maybe some of the lesser known events that have happened around the world, and then also queuing in on some of the more well-known events. But I like to give as much history as I can, but keep it fun as well.
Definitely.
So what are your thoughts on poodling? I know these are not the original original interview questions, but I have questions now. Because this is one of the things that the the Gray Muzzles pulled up. Like, we mentioned this before we started recording, but we're working on a Gray Muzzles episode. Yes, you guys can all stop asking us about it now. But I went into a Gray Muzzles chat, and well, it was not a chat group, and I asked them like, hey, I'm doing this. What are your thoughts? And blah, blah, blah. And I got one person that sent me a personal message and says, we got to stop this poodling. This is ridiculous. That's not what the fandom is. It shouldn't be like that. And I'm like, what is with all of these people that are like stuck in their old ways? Isn't the fandom all about like progression and evolution? Why do we have so many rules that dictate what we can and can't do?
Exactly.
I just feel like it was like a pity party like conversation.
Like,
one of the
sometimes it's just hot outside.
Poodling, you know, like, I don't really care, in my opinion. As long as you're wearing the suit, that's all that matters.
Oh, gosh. You know, some of the listeners are probably going to be like, okay, I know something about Keenora now. So back then, a few years ago, I mean, it's like, I don't know, 15 years ago or something, there was an Rio Friends episode where they interviewed some people, including me, and they posted like a small summed up version on Twitter. They were actually asking about poodling. And they only used one single phrase I said, but I had the big context of it. I was like talking for 5 minutes or something. And the only thing they posted was, "It is the worst thing I can imagine." So,
oh my God.
So,
that is so
like,
dramatic.
They posted it on Twitter, and literally as soon as it was the evening and then obviously the morning time in the US, so many furries from the US fandom were like bashing on me on Twitter. Like, how can you say that? Oh, it's so... They called me names. Oh my God, I can't imagine. And I was like, guys, I was talking in a big, like, longer context. And the context itself was basically, I don't care about pooling, to be honest. I don't do it myself because I think it's not aesthetic to me, like aesthetically pleasing to me. It doesn't look pleasing. So for me personally, I love to see a character. Like if a character is like doing specific things, like I don't know, talking and behaving in a specific way, then I like it because it's kind of immersive. And if somebody is just taking off their hat, it's more like, okay, yeah, I'm destroying the character right now, and I just don't care because I want to drink a beer whatsoever on the bar right now. And I'm like, I don't know, it doesn't fit. So for me personally, do whatever you want. I don't care, but I wouldn't do it. I have diabetes and stuff. So sometimes in a very emergency case, I do have to take my head off to get some sugar or whatever to relieve myself in some way because I need the sugar, of course. So that's an emergency case, of course. But like everything else, if somebody's running around, for example, at a parade, at a fursuit parade, I don't know, it doesn't look pleasing to me. And it's especially for the kids. I mean, I'm not fursuiting for the kids, of course, at the parade. I'm fursuiting for myself. But for kids, if they happen to stay there, they see it and they think it's kind of meh. I don't know. It's destroying something for them. And for me personally as well. Like when I see it, it's like, okay, well, I would rather see like the full character.
Right. I've always been told it's how like people embody their character. And like if you picture your character in your head as an anthropomorphic wolf that doesn't wear clothes, then that's who he is.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I don't know. People can do what they want. For me personally, I don't like it. I try to not do it, only in the emergency cases, but it is what it is. I think I'm not the gray muzzle who's like, oh, there's a guideline of being a fursuit or a guideline of being a furry. You are not allowed to do this and this and this, and you have to act like that. No, it's not like that. You can be whoever you want to be. Yeah.
This has been in the back of my head for a while. I want to go back in time a little bit. Have you worked with videographers such as like Willian or Easy Wolf? And if so, what has your experience been with them?
Oh, great, actually.
Because these are like iconic videographer, filmmaker type furries in the fandom. And so when I think about me joining the fandom, these are the videos that I discovered first, besides, my initiation of porn. but oops, oh no. But besides that, like their videos are just magical. And I've seen so many different types of furries in there. I've seen a couple of your videos with them. And so it's just whenever I come across someone who's been in those, I always have to ask them like what the experience was like, what you love, all that fun stuff.
So regarding Easy Wolf, I think because he's a bit older and the videos are a bit older as well. Easy Wolf is an amazing dude. We are friends, I don't know, for such a long time already. I mean, I'm not seeing him that often, to be honest. I mean, was it last year? I think last year or the year before, I've visited him for just a day and stuff. But it's like, he's a great guy. He lives in the Netherlands. And the way he's doing the videos, or he did the videos back then, especially the whole series of Rooms 366 and stuff, back in those days, those videos were big. I can tell. Not just regarding the quality. I mean, if you point at Room 366, the idea of the video was, I mean, quite funny. I mean, if you know the old school MTV music videos and stuff, it was an homage to that. But it turned out to be, Like, so people were like not ready for that video, I think. So it got so many reposts on YouTube, so many reactions and stuff. And I don't know how many views it has nowadays, but it's a big thing. And I think when he kickstarted that, like all the videos after that, all those like cooperating videos with some great musicians, like Fox Amour, for example.
Fox Amour.
He did some amazing work, and working together with Easy was always a pleasure. He's very, very professional, has a lot of experience in videographing and stuff because he's coming from that side, like job-wise. He has done amazing work. And if you look at all the videos he has done so far, it's really professional. It's a lot of fun to work with him. For William, I can basically say the same. He started with the mascot video he has done back then, the series of like the actual movie of it. And he was even airing the movie in some cinemas, and it was amazing. Like, he's just at the start of his career, well, at least back in the day, he was at the start of his career. And yeah, it was a lot of fun too. He hired a whole stadium where we could film and stuff. Yeah, stuff like that is just amazing. It's nice to see such a big talent starting his work and seeing like all the professional things behind the scenes. Like, you're not thinking about, okay, he's actually filming in a real stadium right now. Nowadays, you would just say, yeah, it's AI or whatever. But back then it was a big thing. So yeah, I love to work with them for sure. Great talents.
Icons. I think, was it Easy that created, he did the full length movie, and there's a difference between like American fursuits and then European fursuits at the time where they were more like realistic feral looking. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of the movie. What was it called?
Was it a movie about fursuits?
No, it was like a feature movie, kind of like, let me think about like.
Give me 1 second. I know the name.
Izzy Wolf movies. I don't know. That's not the one.
Weird. A furry.
Oh my God.
I don't think I've heard of this before.
It had wolves in it, and
I think I even have the DVD somewhere. Oh God, what was the name again? Bitter Lake.
Bitter Lake. Yeah. That was such a big thing. Mm-hmm. Let me see if I can find a trailer for you, Kira, because it's really awesome.
Yeah, I want to see Bitter Lake.
Bitter Lake furry film.
Oh, 41 minutes. It's actually on YouTube even. Just found it.
Let me go to YouTube.
Oh, that's not what that is.
No, I know, because I know exactly what you pulled up.
Bitter Lake official trailer.
There it is.
Bitter Lake. Oh, this is so cool. I've never heard of this before.
Yeah.
So this is a live action, looks to be sort of like medieval.
That's what I was thinking of. Couldn't think of the type. It was a huge thing when I was kind of starting out. About 14 years ago. God, that really just dates me right now.
I've never heard of this.
But it was so cool. And this is like when furry film was really kind of starting out, like with Easy Wolf and William and a few others out there.
These suits
and it was
are
just
beautiful.
amazing. Oh, it is absolutely beautiful. Mm-hmm. These are kind of like, I'd say more theatrical looking fursuits, but I don't see them very often anymore. But when I do see these types of fursuits, they're beautiful. They're really well done. They look absolutely realistic. Like, I look at that and I go, yeah, I could see you being a real thing, even though I know you're really in front of me, but I'm like thinking reality. So
it's interesting because you'd think that something like this like wouldn't look as good as it does, but they really, like, the lighting, everything looks really professional, and the suits are beautiful. They're like straight in that middle range, because I mean, most furry media, it tends to be, animated, because that's the logistics of the matter. Like, it's hard to make suits look good like that. So
have you ever heard of a show called Fursuit TV?
Oh, yes.
Okay. I have not.
Okay. And I'm not sure if it's this one specifically, but there was a channel that specifically showed for like an hour or two. There were just live streams of like fursuit festivals and meetups that we would watch at. Like, we do these things called ramen night, where we go to a friend's house, we have ramen and we kind of just socialize and stuff. There's no fursuits ever involved, but back in the day, we'd watch these Fursuit TV-esque streams. And I don't know, I think I might have seen you on one of them a long time ago, but I just wanted to see what you thought about it.
So I remember that Tim Duro, a French fursuiter, was actually doing the Fursuit TV thingy back then. I think there was even a time when he had like a 24-hour stream with all those videos, because he was basically trying to archive everything fursuit related back then. I mean, back in the day, it was amazing because, of course, I mean, YouTube existed, but there weren't that many videos back then. But he was recording every single piece, like on TV, on everything you can imagine. He was trying to archive, and then, yeah, he was just streaming it all day long. I was there quite a few times, actually. That was the beginning of my fursuiting adventures. So, yeah, good times.
That's cool.
Amazing. Blast from the past, as they say.
Well, you're a younger furry, Kira.
I am.
I don't expect you to know half of the things that I brought up.
It's funny because I really am, but I'm passionate about the fandom and I try to like get into stuff, but I feel like there's a big gap from the fandom's roots, which is what I know more about. But just because I feel like it's documented and talked about more, it's like, who had the first persona? When was the first convention? Like, I know a lot of that stuff, but this era in the middle from like around the time I was born, I just really don't know anything. But it's so cool learning about it because I feel like it's a lot of personality came from that era of like.
When you say the era of when you were born, are we talking like physically or like when you were born in the fandom?
No, when I was physically born, I was born in the year 2000.
Holy shit!
I've never known the 1900s in all of my time on this earth.
God, I'm the oldest person on the whole freaking team. I think the youngest person I have, he's 20, but he's got a lot of spare bics. He's got so much energy. That guy, for as young as he is so well connected with so many people and knows so many things. It is mind-boggling.
It's cool, though. I feel like I like to be friends with all different kinds of furries. It's just like a better experience to, I don't know, hear the opinions of everybody and what everybody likes. And I just like to consume, furry media and stuff. So like, I didn't know anything about this movie, but I will be watching it probably today because this is so up my alley.
It's a classic. You watch this and then it's going to bring you back and you're going to be like, damn.
It'll bring me back to before I was born.
A Land Before Time.
I'll be a little psycho.
Every time I'm thinking about gray muzzles, I'm always thinking about the icon I have, actually, who's a fursuiter from the US. It's a very good friend of mine, Rio Grey Fox. I'm not saying the number, but he's just 3 years younger than my dad. So he's still fully into the furry fandom. He's still fursuiting every single event. He's going wild, traveling a lot. I mean, as soon as I'm in that age, I want to be like him. That's for sure.
Oh, his suit is so cute. Oh my God, super cute.
What is it? Can you send me a picky?
Yeah. I think I got it.
That's his name.
Rio Grey Fox. It is the
Here's a picture.
Oh, I know this guy. I don't know him, but I know of him.
Yeah, I've seen this before.
And
yeah, it's super cool to see what got people in.
Talking about furry media and like high professional videos, just to give you a little view into the Asian side of that, because in Asia there are also like there's a huge culture of creating videos and stuff.
They love their dancing videos.
Exactly. Most of the people see the dancing videos.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard about the Studio 643?
Oh, I love them. I subscribe to them. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's a big thing. I mean, especially the Starman video and the Mela video. It's just amazing. Seeing
Mela is one of my favorites.
Yeah,
300. Mela was, if I'm correct, Mela was a 1 or a 2 take film. I'm pretty sure it's a 1, but That's is really a moment where there was a split, and I think it was a 2 take. But even then, that is insanely like precision.
Yeah. Indeed. Starman as well. It's just, when I saw Starman, that they showed it on at JMOV back then, I think that was the first view into the video, and I was just so stunned. Like, back then, 100 fursuiters in one take dancing together. So perfect. It was just amazing. And Mela, they have like 300 people. It was recorded 1 week after Infernity. I was at Infernity and I was like, guys, what are you doing next week? Oh yeah, we are recording some video. And I was like, okay. Well, I'm busy as well. I'm flying back home and stuff. And then I saw the video and I was like, fuck. I wanted to be there.
You wanted to be there in spirit.
Yeah.
There's a channel that I absolutely love watching. It's Dragonelle Escalieri Silverwing. Mm-hmm. Have you heard of them?
Yes.
Yeah, their stuff is great. They featured one fursuiter, and I don't know the name of them, but they play what looks like a sitar, but they do it in fursuit. And I was watching and I'm like, I never really appreciated the musical instrument, but now I really want to watch more of this. It's just fascinating. And the stuff is so good. I don't know. It's just good. Jintan is a popular one.
Yes, I know about that.
They have like a really like shaved down fursuit, like a newer concept of it. Not sure if I like that model.
It's grown
it's good for
on
dancing.
Me. Yeah, it's like watching it move in motion. I was like, this looks like a VR chat model. It's so smooth.
So the channel you've just mentioned, the Dragoniel Iskali, whatever, the long name, he's basically posting a lot of stuff from the Chinese YouTube because they don't use YouTube that much because they can't. So there is
they have their own version.
Yeah, they have their own version, which is called Bilibili. And they are like uploading stuff there. And this channel is basically like cross-posting the videos to YouTube. And they also take some videos from YouTube and post them to Bilibili. So it's a big culture there. Like the Chinese YouTube is full of fursuit videos and stuff, especially dancing, of course.
How do you feel like you connect with all of these people from all over the world? Like, do you speak all of those languages, or like how?
I wish. No, I do speak Japanese, not fluently, but like the casual stuff, basically. So I can talk a bit, but that's basically it. Like all the other Asian languages, no, it doesn't work. I mean, English really works for most of them, of course, but besides that, I only speak a bit of Dutch and German Sign Language, but that's it. So yeah.
Wow, and German Sign Language. That's still a lot.
I used to know American Sign Language. I took like 3 years of it. I got a name sign. I recognize some of conversation when people are talking, but I don't use it anymore. So I've lost most of it. But it is a very interesting language because there are more words in sign language that are created every day than there are in actual languages of like other countries. So American and Germany would be like the German language is vast, but the German Sign Language is much bigger than the actual language itself.
Yeah, I get that. It's also funny because when I started to learn it, because of some of my friends, they cannot hear, they're deaf. There are like different types of sign language in German, like different dialects, basically. It's so funny to me. I don't know.
Do you use, we call it, I think it's called short signing or modifiers. Do you ever use modifiers?
Modifiers?
So in some like sign languages, you mirror like your movements with your hands, but in some particular types of conversation, you can modify the sign and only use just one hand, and that still comes across as the actual word that they're talking about. It's kind of like shorthand writing, but with just your hands itself. It's kind of, I wouldn't say it's like frowned upon, but a lot of people, when I was learning about it, would say not to use it just because it can be taken as like one thing as opposed to what it's supposed to be.
It's like slang for any language.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Like any language is going to have some sort of equivalent to.
True.
So you know German Sign Language.
Yes.
That's
some
crazy.
Japanese,
and
German,
you're fluent in that.
Yeah, I'm basically fluent.
Wow.
That's really cool.
Where did you learn it?
Well, I started to learn by myself because, as I've said, some of my good friends are deaf. But then I started with an app just learning some signs. It's called Spread the Sign. They have like different sign languages, like different languages all over the world. And you can basically learn by just signing the sentences. And it's not that difficult, to be honest. It's just getting your inner Italian guy with all the gestures out of your body. So, yeah.
My family's Italian, so it's very accurate. We do a lot of hand talking.
Exactly. So just be a bit more expressive with it, and then
Am I good
I
to
do a
ask
lot of hand talking.
The number 10.
Yeah, you can ask the question now.
So we have our final question for you, Keenora, and it's, if someone wanted to follow in your footsteps, so that's, we talked a lot today about your traveling, your performing, building a presence. What advice would you give somebody who's starting out in the fandom right now?
It's basically like answering the question for myself. Like if I would, I don't know, do a time travel and see myself 20, 25 years ago, what would I tell myself? One specific thing: don't let others interfere with your life too much. you just should be yourself in all the facets and aspects you can think of, because it doesn't matter what you're doing in life. People are always judging you. It doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're walking through, I don't know, a shopping mall, people are looking at you and they're judging you. No matter if you're just a normal, in brackets, normal person and just walking around, or if you're in a fursuit, or if you're, I don't know, in a pub hood or whatever, it doesn't matter. People are always judging you. And those people are just NPCs, basically. They think about you for like, it's true. It's true.
That's so true, though.
It's hilarious. I haven't thought about it like that.
They are just thinking about you for like 10 seconds or whatever, maybe talking about you to a friend for a minute, but then you disappear. So you are not the main character to them. So you should be the main character for yourself, and you should just live your life in all the, in brackets, legal things you want to do. Just do what you want and just be yourself, and don't let others control you.
I love that. Don't listen to NPCs. Don't let NPCs get you down.
Exactly. Unless they have a good quest for you.
That's the exclamation points over their head.
Exactly.
Well, that's lovely. I feel like that's wonderful advice for up and coming furries. And I feel like the memories that a lot of folks share here on the podcast that they cite as being their favorite, or why they joined the fandom or this or that, do relate to that for one reason or another. Just like, don't let others be the reason why you stop doing this, or let this be an outlet for your creativity that you don't get to display anywhere else. So I think that's very well said.
I'm just so glad that we finally got to interview you. You've been like, you're one of my bucket list like interviews. Like, you're there, but I never thought I would get the chance to do it, but I'm glad I did. You're just such a, like, an icon and an idol, to me, at least in the fandom. So it's been a pleasure to have you on. I'm just so thankful for it.
I'm very happy that this is not like a video right now, because I'm blushing so hard. Thank you.
Your energy is just so like calming, though. Like, your character is so, you know, and even your persona is someone who like does these extreme sports, and you're very down to earth in a pleasantly surprising way. And it was very nice to get to know you a little bit better, and to chat here and share your experiences with, you know, other, especially younger furries who may not have ever seen your videos or want to do, you know, similar things, but feel like they can't. It's like, you really can just do anything if you put your mind to it.
Now I need to get an interview with Easy Wolf now, and that will just complete the set.
Yeah. Seal the deal.
I have some contacts. I can call him right now.
Furry nepotism at its finest.
I love contacts. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on and taking the time.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. To do interviews like this, just for our guests, so that you guys know, it's a little bit more difficult because you're in Germany and we're in America. And then, of course, Kira and I are also in 2 different time zones. So we did this starting at 9, and it was 5 o'clock for you, Keenora. So
yeah, now it's 7, right? Yeah.
Now it's 7, yeah. So we do go through extreme lengths to make these happen, but we are more than happy to make them happen. So
yeah, this was our pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys.
Of course, thank you. Thank you.
Well, for the rest of our listeners, you guys know where to follow us. I'm not going to list it off anymore because you can just click on it. It's self-explanatory.
You should know by now. You should be following by now. And if you're not, suspicious.
I don't know what you're doing.
I don't know what the heck you're doing.
Yeah. Thanks for listening in, and we'll see you guys on our next episode.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.